This is a 1965 Corvette we built, finished it off for last year. It came in with the paint job already done. Great looking car, but we made it drive nice. We should upgrade all the suspension, all modern suspension here, so this will handle just over 1G in a skid pad, like a 2010 Corvette or even newer. The front has 13-inch rotors with 6 piston calipers, and the back has 13-inch rotors with 4 piston calipers. This thing stops on a dime. It's extremely safe. The wheels themselves are a custom-built wheel, one offset wheel. We designed the offset to make it exact, to fill those fender wells exactly as far as they could possibly fill. It just gives the car much nicer look when you have the proper size wheels in there. The stance as well, we've adjusted that with the adjustable coilover on it, so we can adjust exactly the way we like it or the way the client likes it, and all that kind of stuff. This has the L79 engine in it, but we enhanced that a little bit more yet by adding a supercharger. This supercharger here is an original McCulloch supercharger from the 60s. They were not available in the Corvette, but this was the greatest hot rod thing you could do to a Corvette at the time. So this is a supercharger here. It's all polished up. We tried to pay homage to the original styling of it back then. The correct belts, everything's on there. We fabricated all the tubes here, and as you see, they're not 100% perfect because back then they didn't do perfect work. And we wanted to make sure that it had paid homage to that era of vehicle still. With the car itself having the supercharger, there's no room for power steering belt down there. So what we did is we had the electric power steering. There's an electric pump down here from a modern electric vehicle. And what that does is that pumps the electricity to be able to pump the power steering. If you go with a modern, like a hydro boost type system, then this doesn't look original anymore. And so we want to have it all looking original. That's the reason for the electric power steering on it. So this would be what somebody would have built in the 60s all the way through. Look at just over 500 horsepower, 500 to 550 horsepower, something like that.
Awesome.
One thing we're really concentrating on is reliability and drivability, and hence the reason for these instruments right here. These are authentic Paxton gauges from back in the 60s. They'll tell the driver exactly what's happening with the engine, the vacuum, the boost, everything you need to know about the engine is right there. Along with the factory gauges, you got a full spectrum of what's happening with the engine. We built the unit itself back here and all that kind of stuff to look as if it was built in the 60s, because this car is supposed to look as if it just has always been that way. Part of the drivability and reliability that we put on here is a fuel injection. So if you look under here, you'll see that's it's a Go EFI fuel injection. It's fully programmable. It also has a computer that reads it, all the sensors that read all your exhaust emissions, that sort of thing. But the part we like the most is the handheld control. When you plug this in, you can drive along and you can adjust all your air fuel mixtures while you're driving. You can adjust for better fuel economy, you can adjust for better power. We obviously like the more power, but you can go either way, whichever you like. So with these two together, you've got yourself a fully tunable car while you're driving. If you're at the drag strip, you just adjust a little differently. If you're just going to work and back, you hit the button, it goes in the setting that's more for fuel economy. And yeah, it just works really, really well.